Okay. Hello, everyone. Good morning. Yeah, thank you all for joining this session. This is our parents' information session that we have scheduled to help the parents with the many questions that you may have in terms of promotions or tournaments or any other generic questions you may have. So we have scheduled this session. So we have another session for those parents who could not join today. So the next session is scheduled for Tuesday evening. So, and we are also recording this session just in case if some parents could not attend this session, so they can watch this recording later and they can reach out to us if they have any questions. And first of all, thank you all for joining this session. So I hope you got a chance to go through the agenda. So today we have Raj sir as well as myself. So we'll be driving this session. We'll be here to talk about the promotions, then tournaments, and any other questions you may have. So, Raj sir, good morning. Welcome to you. Uh, do you like to address the parents here?
Yeah, thank you, Saptagir. Thank you all for joining. We are hoping these information sessions are helpful. The reason we thought of this is we have seen many children making significant progress over the summer holidays, as we were expecting. And typically in US, the tournament season starts from the month of October. For example, in Ohio, there are about 9 to 10 tournaments from October to March in the 6 months time frame, 6 to 7 months city level, and about 3 to 4 state level tournaments. And similarly for other states as well, whether it is Florida or California, New York. Um, what we want to do is through these information sessions, while we talk about these things in class with children, we have observed that it is important for parents also to be aware, because if they are aware, then we see their participation is more, and that in turn helps drive results of children better. Um, in my conversations with parents, I talk about triad, or basically three pillars for children's growth and progress. One is the child's interest and aptitude and efforts, that is a child. Second is the involvement and support from parents. And third is guidance from a good coach. If we take either of these away, the results are not stellar. If a child is not interested, then no matter how much uh, parent pushes or coach tries to coach, it will not work. If a child is interested and you know coach is also good, but we have seen that parents don't have the time to take children to tournaments. We have seen children progressing really fast, but parents don't have the time to take them to tournaments. So what happens is, although they have picked a lot of skill, a lot of knowledge, if they are not able to showcase, then eventually the interest level reduces. And similarly, on the other side, if a child is interested, the parent is also supportive, but the direction is not good, then again, the performance is not stellar. So we are aware of these three pillars, and we are trying from our side to improve the strength of each of these pillars, whether it is motivating the children in the class, whether it is ideating between all the coaches and trying to bring new things to our students, or reaching out to parents. Many of you have heard from us. You hear from us all the time, whether it is Saptagiri sir or me. And there is a big team behind the scenes that is doing a lot of work. Most of you only see us, right? Saptagiri sir or Raj sir. But there are other coaches, there are other team members behind the scene who do a lot of the back end work, groundwork. So thank you all for joining. We will get started here, and we'll be opening the floor for questions for those of you who may want to ask any questions. So Saptir sir, back to you.
Okay. Yeah, thank you, Raj sir. Thanks for setting the tone for this meeting. So why we are here, what we are going to discuss, and why it is important to know all these aspects for parents, right? Okay, so yeah, the first thing on the agenda is definitely promotion. So you might have heard. a number of times from us, even from the children, about promotions, right? So these promotions is typically how we explain the children is that how they get promoted from one grade to another grade, because they have picked up all the skills or all the knowledge that they are supposed to pick at that level, and then uh, at school the teacher decides to promote them to the next grade, right? So similarly, even at RKHS Gurukul, we have 9, 10 different levels, so which we'll be talking about. So which we have again split into junior level and senior level. So before I get there, I want to give you a brief of how promotions work. Now, when the student joins us, right, when we get them enrolled here, the first thing we ask the parents is to get a chess.com account. So the reason we ask them is that is where we track their progress. So when we say progress, there are two parameters that we track. One is the puzzles rating, and the second is the rapid rating. So initially, for the beginner students who are just learning chess, how the pieces move, sorry, value of pieces, the emphasis is mostly on puzzles. So they start recognizing the patterns, they are able to identify free pieces, they are able to uh, checkmate, right? So this is the focus area for the beginner students. And we also talk about opening principles, things like that, how to start the game, how to end the game. So the focus is mostly on the puzzles. At the same time, they should also learn how to play the game. So that is where this rapid rating comes into picture. So on chess.com, there are different categories of chess games. It is purely based on time control. So when we say rapid games, any game with a time control of 10 minutes and above. So those are rapid games. Now, again, how these ratings go up, down is that if a student wins a game, the rating goes up. If they lose a game, rating drops. So similar to puzzles. If they get a puzzle right, rating goes up. If they get a puzzle wrong, it drops. So net net, it should be in the positive direction. So the graph should go up. So quarter on quarter. So once they reach the targets, so these are predefined targets. So these are not moving variables. These are kind of set on stone for the last many years. So we may revise it in the future, but these are not moving targets. These are standard targets. So the students will know these targets well in advance. And once they reach, so at the end of that quarter, we'll be announcing promotions. So our promotion happens every 3 months. So we will usually let the students start a countdown from for 6 weeks, ahead of the promotion cycle, so that they know that this is coming. They will have to shift gears if they have to, right? And they have adequate time to catch up, because we know they are involved in multiple activities, and there is definitely school, homework, right, and other activities. So we give them enough lead time when we to run up to promotion, so they know this is coming, and they know the gaps. So how many rapid points do they have to cover, how many puzzles reading they have to cover, so based on that. So at the end of the quarter, most of you know we announce promotions in class. We also share the promotion certificates over email, and we encourage them to talk to you to get it printed, so they feel that they have accomplished. So it is definitely an accomplishment, because these targets are definitely hard. So it is definitely not easy to reach. So every target, right, every level that we talk about, it is not easy. They have to work hard to reach the promotions. So I'm going to share my screen and quickly give you an overview of our yes, promotion levels. So we have split it into two categories at a high level: junior level promotions, and there is a senior level promotion as well. So first we'll talk about the junior level promotions. So in the junior level, we have 9 different batches. That is beginner 1, 2, 3, intermediate 1, 2, 3, and advanced 1, 2, 3. And we have some interesting, cool, fancy names where the children, they like to associate themselves with. So we have different names for it. Beginner one is bold bunnies. You would have heard from them. these names, right? Bold bunnies or racing rabbits, heroic horses, legendary lions, right? So this is kind of names that we have with each batch level. And then coming to the ratings that they need to get to. So rapid rating, it is rating, in fact, not games. It is not that if they play 100 games, they'll be promoted to the beginner level 2. Their rating should reach 100. And here the rating should reach 200 only, then they get to go to the cool cups. Along with it, puzzles rating should be 1100, rapid rating should be 200. Now, then for intermediate, again, 1300 and 400. So what we usually see and what happens most of the times is that the children are quick to reach these puzzle ratings, but they take good amount of time to get their rapid ratings improved. This is because these puzzles usually they take the time and solve it, but when it comes to games, they need to apply the learnings that they have learned. So if you see, if their puzzles reading is improving, that means they are learning the concepts, they are able to identify the patterns, they are able to recognize it when they are solving puzzles. But their rapid reading may not be catching up that fast because these the tactics that they have learned they need to start applying in games. So it takes some time for them to identify those in the middle of a game, because when they are playing a game, there is definitely time pressure, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, or 30 minutes, right? That kind of time pressure they will have. So they may not be able to immediately recognize the patterns and start making the moves. So it takes some time to get to reach these rapid rating targets. So these are the rapid rating targets. If you see, reaching every level, it is very, very difficult. So typically, it usually takes 1 to 2 quarters to reach the next level. But we have seen some students who get double promotions in a cycle. That is purely because they have spent enough time, they have learned it, they are interested, passionate, motivated. So we have seen children getting double and triple promotions also in a quarter. So this is mainly about the junior level promotions. Then once they are reach the legendary alliance, then we have senior level promotions. So for this, I will have Raj sir talk about the elite eagles and senior level promotions.
Yeah. Um, Yes, so coming to senior level promotions, these are children who have already reached a certain level. They have established themselves as passionate chess players. There are a number of criteria, as you can see here. For many children, if they see an elite eagle in class in one of our sessions, then they see them as a role model. There are a number of targets, which is, we have rapid rating, we have puzzles rating, we have puzzle to survival scores. We encourage children to do all the lessons multiple times. Most of the elite eagle children have completed all the lessons on chess.com, video lessons followed by challenges, all the way up to advanced level, not once, but 3 to 5 times. So that way, the theory is well ingrained and they are able to apply very easily in their games. USCF will be talking more of this in this session. USCF stands for United States Chess Federation. This is the governing body of chess within the US. There is a world body called FIDE. You may have heard FIDE when you hear of news like Gukesh's news or Magnus Carlsen, Vishwanathan Anand. So you'll hear FIDE. But here in the US, it is USCF, United States Chess Federation. These ratings are achieved when they play in-person tournaments. So we do have a senior level promotion tracker here, Elite Squad 1, Elite Squad 2, Elite Squad 3. It's a combination of chess.com rapid rating. When we say rapid rating, it's games rating. And then we are seeing the USCF in-person tournament rating also. Uh, the initial milestone after at the end of Elite Squad 3 we are looking at is a candidate master, that is USCF rating 2000. And then NM here stands for national master. So we are tracking NM1, NM2, NM3 with the goal of being a national master in chess. Again, this title is given by United States Chess Federation. We have a few students who had joined us back in 2017, 18, 19 timeframes and all. Many of them have become national masters. Many of them have become candidate masters already. Moving on, we want to talk about, Saptari sir, we can quickly go through the milestones in chess.
Yes,
If
yes,
we can go
that's
back to the
right.
chart, I'll briefly touch upon those. Um, so there are different milestones in chess. You may have heard these terms before. Candidate master, national master. Candidate master and national master are given by the United States Chess Federation, the US governing body. International master is given by FIDE. It is uh, a very good title to have. Grandmaster is like, PhD holders. In fact, I would say even international master is a PhD holder. Grandmaster is like way above. Then we have national champion and world championship. We are also, because our focus is K to 12 children, we are also tracking milestones for scholastic children. And these are as follows. We have city scholastic champion, we have state champion grade level, we have state champion high school team. Many of our older kids, they are part of their high school team. Then we have national champion grade level and world champion age based. To share some statistics, over the last 4 years or so, we have about 200 children, plus 200 plus children, who have been either state champions or top three in their respective state. Um, we have about 12 to 15 children who are top 10 in the entire United States from Architects Gurukul, and we have two of our students who have played the World Championship. When we say they have played the World Championship, we are not talking about the general category, we are talking about age based categories that happen. Usually, the top three children from a particular nation, um, they are selected by the national governing body. In our case, it's United States Chess Federation, and then they are sponsored and they go to the next level at the international level. Again, the reason we want to talk about these is we want to share the roadmap. We have seen many children start completely new, initially even struggling to identify hanging pieces, mate in one. But what we have seen, there is one factor that has led them to reach these levels, whether it is city champion, state champion, national champion, or even the world level, is what? Is that they have stayed the course. They have stayed the course. We'll bring this topic back again after we discuss about ratings and all. So, Saptari sir will talk about this one. Staying the course in spite of obstacles, in spite of perceived plateauing or stagnation. So that is something that's a good character value to have. Staying the course, whether it is chess or anything else that we do in life. With that, Saptari sir, we can go to the next topic.
That's it. Yeah. So that is about promotions, a quick introduction about USCF and the different levels of achievements possible in chess. Now we'll be moving to the next topic where we'll be talking about the tournaments, right? Basically. Now, our students are familiar with chess.com online tournaments, right? Because during summer, we also conducted multiple tournaments in a day where we had some good participation from students. So they are mostly familiar with these online tournaments. Now, there are in-person tournaments happening in almost every city or at a driving distance from where you live. So we usually encourage children who have reached intermediate level 1 and above to start playing in tournaments. So the reason we say intermediate level 1 and above is because they would have learned chess for a decent amount of time, and they will also be able to digest the results, right? Because if a child wins, definitely that's great. The child is happy, parents are happy. Now, there are all kinds of results possible, right? In the game of chess, wins, losses, and draws. Now, if they have reached intermediate level 1, we believe that they'll be able to handle results such as draws and loss, because losing a game online is totally different from losing a game over the board. So While they have reached this level, they will be able to handle losses, and they will also be little active enough, right? So that's what that is why we suggest grade one, level one and above. And we want all the children to start with non-rated section to begin with. In most of the chess tournaments, there will be a section called non-rated. This is mostly for students who have started learning chess recently, and they will not get a USCF rating there, and they you do not have to get a USCF ID as well to play in a non-rated section. So once a child plays for 3 to 5 tournaments in a non-rated section, so they will understand the rules of the game basically, because online, if they're trying some illegal moves that are not allowed, so chess.com will not allow them. But over the board, so because there are some rules like touch and move, then things like that, which we will talk about. So they need to learn these. So if they start with non-rated section, there they will learn all these basic etiquettes of how to play in an over the board rated tournament. So 3 to 5 tournaments will give them enough experience, and even there in the non-rated sections, the tournament directors, they would be lenient. They will understand that this child is new. That is why this child is in the non-rated section. So they'll also help them learn the rules. But once a student transitions from a non-rated to rated, then all the rules are strictly followed. Touch move, touch take, and they are not allowed to do any illegal moves. Then the opponent will have some time added to a clock if the player makes an illegal move, things like that. So they learn all these things while they play in the non-rated section, and they can slowly transition to rated sections. Now, if we are talking about rated section, again, there will be a number of sections in any tournament. You would have heard something like U500, U1000, open section, U1200. So what this means is under 500 or under 1200. So say for example, if we have 50 students playing in a tournament, so the tournament directors, they would decide the different sections because they would not like to put everybody in one section, because beginner, it would be definitely challenging to vers somebody who is 1200 USCF rated, right? So there will be different categories. U500 means all the students whose USCF rating is under 400. So they will all be in one section and they'll be versing, right? So some tournaments will have 3 rounds, some will have 5 rounds, some will have 4 rounds, things like that. So based on that, they'll get a rating. So first time when somebody moves to a rated section, they need to register on USCF site. There is an annual membership of $17 or $34. I do not exactly remember. So you have to get a USCF membership, and at the end of each tournament, based on the performance, the student gets a rating. So if the student has won, I mean, if the child has done really well, the rating goes up. If the tournament was not so great, the rating may drop or it may stay the same. It depends on the performance in that tournament. So once a student transitions to USCF rated section, they cannot go back to non-rated section. But there are some exclusions in some tournaments. We will talk about it when we get there. But mostly, once a student plays in a rated tournament, they will no longer be able to play in a non-rated section again. So that is why we suggest students to stay non-rated, get all the experience, feel comfortable, then transition to rated. Now, how to find these tournaments, right? So there are different websites where you can go and find tournaments. So, and m- this is the best place where you can go and look for tournaments. So this is the US chess upcoming tournament section. So all you need to do is filter by the state that you live in. Say, for example, I'm just taking an example of Utah. So here it lists all the tournaments happening, and it also gives details. You can just open here and find all the details, where it is happening, what kind of the tournament it is, what is the entry fee. Let me take another example, which is much familiar. Say if we go to Ohio, right? So here, yes. So this is happening in Parma. This is happening in Columbus. This is happening in Cincinnati. Again, this is in Columbus. So all the tournaments you'll be able to see. So here, most of the tournaments will be registered, but some may not be seen here. So because there are different organizers organizing tournaments, and every organizer may not list their tournaments in the USCF site. So if once you start going to a place, you'll be added to their mailing list, and you will start receiving emails about their tournaments. And we also have, if we are, I mean, still talking about Ohio and Cincinnati. So there is the Cincinnati Scholastic Series, right? So this is their website. So, so every month, almost every month, they will have some tournaments here. And here, if we go, even in Columbus area, there are a number of tournaments happening almost every week. And if we filter by another state, say for example, California, right? So again, so many tournaments. It also gives you the city name, and if it is at a drivable distance, and if the sections look good to you, only then register. So if you are doing it for the first time, we strongly recommend you to reach out to us, because we want this child to have a good experience when he or she is playing their first tournament. Because we have seen that parents, they will sign up in a different section than where, yeah, than where the child should play. So the experience may not be that great. So if you are doing it for the first or second time, please reach out to us. We will help you guide, register the student in the right section, because that is very important, because we do not want them to put in a group where it is extremely challenging and the child is playing his or her first or second tournament. So that's so, yeah, we have a question here. Jagdish will come to that. We'll definitely talk about how to find a rated or non-rated tournament. That's a very good question. Now, let me take an example of this Cincinnati Scholastic. So here they have, yeah, this series. Usually, yeah, I think they're this season they have not yet announced. So if we go to their tournament announcement, let me see. Let me try to get to some tournament where, or maybe let me go to this chess register. See, for people living in Georgia and Florida, this is the place where you can find all the tournaments, because it is up to the organizers' preference. So they may list most of it here, but they have their own preferences. Chess register is another site. If you see, um, West Virginia, New Jersey, Florida, Georgia, right? These states and Arizona. So some gets posted here. Now, if we are talking about how to find rated versus non-rated section,
Yeah.
here,
So,
let me see.
Saptagiri sir,
Yes,
let me
Dr.
share
Ram.
my
Yeah.
screen.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is an example. This is an annual season that Cincinnati Scholastic Committee organizes. And in the flyer, they have it's mentioned here rated section, championship, and all these under all the way up to under 300 section. Then they have a non-rated section also, K to 6 non-rated players for grades, these and these. Um, Now, usually we have to go inside a listing and read the listing to see whether it is non-rated or rated. They would have mentioned non-rated, great for beginners, something like that the organizers would have mentioned. And these are conducted in various different places. Uh, yeah. So for the first time, While you can search in these sites, USEF sites, I've sent the USEF site also over here, the upcoming tournament site. But we also look at it regularly because there are so many parents reaching out to us and we can share information. So
Okay.
Jagdish, hope that helps answer your question.
So let me show you another thing. So this is from the USCF website, right? So this is happening on Saturday, August 16th. They say entry fee is $15. Time control is game 55 plus 5. Means each player gets 55 minutes and there is an increment of 5 seconds for every move. And here it says open and under 1400. So we definitely do not want a beginner to play in this tournament. Okay, because there are only two sections. One is U1400 01 and the other is open. So it will be very challenging because there will be students or even adults with rating of 1400, 1200, 1300, 1100, 1000, 900, 800, like that. So we definitely do not recommend this. But if somebody who is a legendary lion or in intermediate 2, intermediate 3, or advanced 1, if they say, okay, I want to try this, maybe, if they have a USCF rating of 800 or 700, we would recommend them to play in U1400 so that they get the required experience. We're seeing adults, we're seeing the stronger players, right? And the entry fees, every and how to register, everything will be mentioned there. So all you need to do is, sometimes they would have given you a link where to go and sign up, or sometimes they'll just give you a contact number. You can just text them and find out how it is. Typically, all these tournament organizers, they are very good to work with. They are very responsive. They respond well. They respect the parents. They respect the students. So it is definitely good to talk to them, work with them. So please text them or reach out to them and they'll help you with the sign up process. And before you finalize the tournament for the first couple of times, please check with us so that we can suggest the right tournament and right section. Okay. So, and if you live in different states, you can definitely search on Google based on, say, somebody is living in Arizona. So chess tournaments in Arizona. Just Google search and it lists the local websites, local clubs and their details. So you can talk to them, register and go. And there will be many local clubs where you can take your students on a weekly basis or on a monthly basis, once a month, just for casual meet and greet, get some over the board play, things like that. So we encourage you to search on the net based on your state. So it will list you the local chess clubs.
Yeah. So Sarath has a question. What is the best initial rated section when multiple sections are eligible? So let's say a child is playing a rated section for the first time. Let me share my screen with example. It is easier to understand. Now this is the Cincinnati tournament. So if we see under 300 is the lowest section here in Cincinnati. Let me go to another example here. This is a tournament that is happening in Tampa area. So the section here, beginner section here is under 250. Usually we have seen under 200, under 250, under 300, under 400. These are all okay. And as Saptagiri sir mentioned sometime back, we are suggesting these tournaments when children reach intermediate level 1. When they are intermediate level 1, they would have achieved a rating of 400 as their rapid rating on, if I go back over here, they have achieved a level of 400 in on chess.com. So even if they go to a rated tournament, which is like say under 250, under 300, under 400, they would be able to put up a very good fight. One more thing to note over here is when our children, right? We have children as young as 5 years old to, up to 16, 17 years old in the 12th grader, the 12th graders. When they are winning these games on chess.com, chess.com has millions of subscribers and most of them are adults. So they are playing with adults already and they are winning. So that is why it is really appreciated when we see children winning games on chess.com, increasing the rating. They are really fighting it out every win. So Again, going back to your answering your question, under 250, under 300, even up to under 400 is okay. Usually, we see that under 700 children already have experience of anywhere from 2 to 5 years. So this is a stronger section. So we suggest that the lowest that is possible in a particular tournament, flyer, the lowest that is possible, you start with that. Now, what will happen is if the child is strong, then they won't stay in that section too long because they are going to win a lot of games. Their rating will increase, and the increased rating takes care of itself with regards to which section to join from the second tournament onwards. So hopefully, Sarath, that helps answer your question.
Yeah, my son's rating is 740 chess.com. In that case, like, should I start with 400 or 700?
No, please start with the lowest because
Mhm.
it's the USCF rating, right? In-person rating and chess.com rating, there is a difference. We have seen the difference to be somewhere between, um, I would say, anywhere from 200 to 400, meaning somebody rated to 700 in chess.com may be rated somewhere around 300 to 400 on in an over the board setting. It's not the same. Okay, the
Okay.
scale is different. So we suggest, definitely suggest, start with the lowest section, and then obviously if the child is strong, then the child will go up in the within one tournament the child's rating is going to increase.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yes, yeah, thanks, Raj sir. Yes, so in the first day, after the end of the first tournament, if the child has won all the three games or four games, the rating will definitely go up to 500 or 600. So next tournament onwards, the child is definitely not eligible for a lower section. So yes, that is another important point we all need to know. So if a child's rating is say 500, the child is not eligible to play in any section under 400 or under 500 under their rating. So they should always play in a section uh, above their rating, say under 600. So if the child's rating is 500, so if there is a section under 600 and under 400, the child can only play in under 600 and not under 400. So it's like that. So in 1 to 2 tournaments, the rating gets normalized. So they will be playing in a section where they usually belong. And once they cross that, again they'll cross. Sometimes we have seen that, a child is in a series, they go to a higher section, then they lose couple of games, they come back to a lower section in the next round, sorry, next tournament. So those are common things that will happen. So but when starting out, try to enroll them in a section which is the lowest in the flyer. Okay, so that is about tournaments. Raj sir, anything else
Yeah,
related to
one more
tournaments?
thing. Yes, one more thing to talk about is um, expectations and what is normal. When a child wins a tournament and they increase a rating, say they win 4 out of 4, they are winning first place. Parents expect usually that every tournament that they play, the child is going to come back with a trophy or a medal, being in the top, being number one, top three. Specifically with USCF tournament, the way USCF has designed their rating system and all, it encourages chess players to play with stronger players as they become stronger. With that, what happens is if they have won a tournament, chances are when they play in a higher section, the results are not the same, usually not the same. It is very, very rare, extremely rare for a child to keep winning tournaments, say, 3 times, 4 times in a row, that they keep coming first or coming in the top three. It is extremely, extremely rare. Uh, Usually, the pattern that we see, one of the tournaments, if the child is in the top three, the next time, because it's a higher section, the results would be instead of 4 out of 4, it will be maybe they win 1 out of 4 games or 2 out of 4 games. And it takes anywhere from 3 to 4 tournaments for them to really start winning in that next higher level tournament. So our focus as chess coaches at the center, what we put is the learning, the knowledge, right? Because if the skill is there, if the knowledge is there, long term, the reading will take care of itself. We even tell students, for although the students always look at rating, no matter how much we tell them, that it is the understanding of the game, the concepts, whether it is tactics or strategy opening, middle game, end game, the core part, that's the engine, right, that drives results. To focus on the learning part, and ratings and all takes care of itself automatically. Um, what is important for us is, we think, is that the benefits that children are getting through chess in other areas of life, that is the long term. Maybe we'll have some session, some one of the sessions where we will talk about how we have seen children really benefit. They start at a young age, sometimes even in the middle school, or even we have students who have joined in the high school. And when they reach 11th grade and they apply for colleges and all, we have had students who have not only got better colleges. We have seen students get up to $100,000 scholarship because of chess, and we give them letters of recommendations. We write it on our Architects Gurukul letterhead through our company, and sometimes we even talk. We have had situations where we also had discussion with hiring managers where it has helped our students get a job after their college. So these benefits come long term. Again, like I said, it's a benefits a whole separate topic in itself. Maybe we'll schedule some session some other time on that. Um, but again, going back, please keep expectations realistic. When children win, definitely appreciate, reward them. But when we see that they don't, their performance is kind of, say, okay, right? Average. It is because they have grown stronger, and that is the reason we encourage the parents to still appreciate the child for the hard work that they have put in, for the effort. Some of these state level tournaments, national level tournaments, like we had this super national tournaments happen in April in Florida. There were 5,500 children from all over the US who came and participated, and one game was going for 4 to 5 hours, and children were playing for 7 hours, including kindergartners. I mean, just think about it. As a parent, I send my child in. I'm sitting outside the door in the big hall, waiting for 5 hours. And at that time, if the child comes out and has lost the game, as parents, our responsibility is to cheer the child. Like, they know their mistake most of the times why they have lost their game. Our job is to cheer them, and so that they are ready for the next round. What parents must not do is get angry, or shout at them, or really scold them for mistakes. Sometimes even basic mistakes happen because of the pressure that they are involved in, and we have seen parents doing these things, getting angry, scolding them, and that is definitely not the right approach. uh, in handling things, most of the parents handle it very well. They understand the effort that goes into it. um, yeah, I think those are some of the things. Anyone? Yeah, we are at the end of the session. Any questions, comments, any feedback, like what type of topics you'd like us to cover in future parent information sessions? Um, we are opening the floor for any questions, comments here.
Hi, sir. This is Taloni. I do want to say thank you for conducting this session. This has been really helpful and informational, and I think it would help all the parents to just guide the kids and get into the right tournaments. Thank you so much for conducting this.
You're welcome. You're welcome, Saloni. Uh, yes, Ekant, your hand is up.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, first off, for both of you for having this session. This is really helpful. I learned quite a good things through this session as well. Thank you. A couple of questions, sir. I saw that the ratings and the promotion cycle as well. Um, is there any recommendation that you guys would suggest with respect to be more consistent with the kids, to monitor kids performance, to see how many games they have to play over a period of time in order to be consistent and be in the process of constant learning, rather than just playing once a time a bulk of games and then taking a break and then coming back and seeing that there is a lot of change in their progress. In that regards, what do you guys suggest?
Yes. So now, when we do these weekly classes, we give them homework that is appropriate for that time frame. For example, if the promotion cycle is just completed, then we will be talking less about those ratings and promotions. We'll be talking more at a higher level learning, whether it is doing lessons and things like that. So it is not that every class we are talking about promotions. Now, the best thing for children to do, a couple of things I will suggest here. The single most beneficial thing that a child can do, and maybe a parent can help the child to do, is set a schedule for chess. And it can be as simple as 20 minutes a day, 30 minutes a day at a particular time. Because, I mean, as humans, we are all creatures of habits. And if a habit is formed, then it's very easy to implement. One doesn't need the willpower. Without a habit, a lot of willpower is required to do an activity, whether it is going to the gym as adults or exercising or anything. So, if as parents, if we can help the child to set a schedule, best written down somewhere. For my children, I have a board with all their schedules that they follow. It's visual, it's easy. Setting a schedule is definitely very helpful. And we don't need children to do like 4 hours of chess a day. That is not needed. That is not even advisable because we want all round development for children, other areas as well. 20 to 30 minutes is good enough on a weekday. If they can do a little bit more on a weekend, that is even good. We also suggest that we want children to enjoy their homework. So it is not that they have to do the lessons only or they have to play games only. What we give them are a set of activities. You know, for example, playing a game on chess.com or doing puzzle rush where there is no rating involved, there is no pressure. Doing puzzle battle, again, no rating involved, no pressure. Doing lessons, again, no rating involved, no pressure. So what is helpful is when children have all these different activities, when they sit at a particular time, at that time, based on how they feel, they can do that. Oh, now I feel in a competitive mode. Let me do a puzzle battle. Oh, I feel very fresh. I think this is a good time for me to start a game because I think because I'm fresh, I should be able to win. Or sometimes it happens, oh, I had a long day and I'm feeling a little bit tired. What can I do? Maybe I can just do watch a lesson where I don't have to do and solve puzzles. You know, it can be a little bit passive-based learning. So the child can decide. We do one of the things that we also suggest is that they should not overdo it. Sometimes what happens, children start playing a game, they win 2 or 3 games, they feel very good about it, and they continue playing games. What happens is by the time they have played 3 games or 2 games, their brain is tired, and then they do more. Chances are first their rating has increased, they are tired, it leads to a loss. Now what happens, it leads to a loss, then they are like, oh, I lost the game, and they start another game again immediately. So then the whole experience goes bad. So we suggest if they have played 2 3 games, so having a time block, right? We 1 hour or 1 hour 15 minutes is what we have seen. Beyond that, it is absolutely essential to take a break and not overdo it. There are again a number of things. These are some of the most beneficial things that we spoke about.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. This is helpful.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Mm. Hey, Raj sir and Saptagiri sir. Thanks for this detailed information, and it is really helpful to understand the parents what they need to take care. I have one question. Like I have seen my son playing these puzzles and tournaments in the evenings. Uh, so when he's playing on his own way because he knows like what are the moves. What he does that. But is there any sessions after this week, like in the weekdays he's playing, and the end of the week you are reviewing their games and suggesting like what he did the wrong or what are the other moves tactics that he needs to play? Is this kind of any sessions happening like that?
So this is what we focus on in our weekly classes. So weekly classes has a number of activities. Again, it is at the batch level. It includes appreciative feedback, critical feedback, and it involves theory. We talk about different tactics at a particular level because what we do is there is a detailed lesson planning session that happens before these weekly classes, and the coaches know what the level are. In fact, most of the times we start the session looking at what children have done in the last 1 week. What we suggest, if a child has played an in-person tournament and they have notated the games, then we request them to recreate the game on chess.com and bring it to the class for analysis or for review. So, two things that a child can do: if a child has played a game, we then and there, immediately after the tournament or immediately after the game, we ask them to use the chess.com analysis feature to take a look at their mistakes. And if possible, they should be journaling. All children should have a book where they journal their mistakes that they are doing, so that they are aware and they will not repeat the mistake. That is one thing they can do immediately while the thoughts are fresh. They know the move that they made and the thought process. So journaling helps. And second is, they can always, let's say they have played 10 games in the week and 1 or 2 games they did not understand the moves. The child should come to the class and ask the coach that, okay, this is what happened. Can you review these couple of moves or this particular game that I played and help me understand better? So hopefully that helps, Jagdish.
Yes, yes, that helps. Thank you.
You're welcome. So we are at the end of session time. We have our regular chess class starting in 5 minutes. Um, Any other final comment, feedback? Please feel free to type in the chat. And like Saptagiri sir said, we are here for the children, for the parents, to support them, to guide them. We always appreciate it when parents reach out to us. Please don't think that I'm bothering the coach or anything like that. No, we are here, and we have seen so many children or so many parents. They are so busy, and it really, we feel good when parents reach out to us. So Saptagiri sir is very approachable. I'm approachable. Please reach out to us as needed. So Saptagiri sir, any final comments before we end the session?
Thanks, Raj sir. Yes. So feel free to reach out to us with any questions. So we will respond when we get a chance. So it could be related to anything, related to homework, tournaments, or you know, if your child is missing a class for any reason, do let us know so that we can plan and schedule a makeup class for them. And those things, yes. Okay, I think we have a question here from
Before
Arun.
playing a tournament, should we ask the kids to play more over the board games to get used to these tournaments? Before playing a tournament, should we ask the kids to play more over the board? Yes. Yeah. It is helpful if they're playing an in-person tournament. 1 week before, they can play a little bit over the board. In fact, they can play over the board on chess.com also. The way they can do it is they can take a longer time control on chess.com and they can make the moves on the board. The only thing they should not be doing is use the board for deeper analysis when playing on chess.com, because that would be a fair play violation. But at a high level, yes, it is helpful to play over the board games. I think that is all for today. Thank you all for joining. We plan to conduct more such sessions with the different areas, different topics for the benefit of everyone. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.